Howdy fellas, I hope you're faring well. Well, work continues on the Salzer project gun. I put the wipeout cleaner down the bore and let it set overnight. And I came back and patched it out and it was still not looking all that well. So you could use a product like PB Blaster or Kroll. I know Kroll, 10 ounces of it's about $25. So if you were commented about automatic transmission fluid, and another one commented 50-50 transmission fluid and acetone. So if you go to your local dollar store, you can pick up a quart of transmission fluid for $4 or $5 and probably a bottle of oilless fingernail polish remover, which is nothing but pure acetone. Mix that 1-to-1 ratio and you have homemade Kroll oil. So I mixed up about, I believe it was 10 ounces, which would be 5 ounces of each. And I couldn't remember how much it would take to fill the bore of the 50 caliber Missouri rifle. Well, it took about 2 ounces, a little more, a little less, okay? And of course I plugged the nipple with a toothpick, which the nipple came out fairly easily, which was surprising to me. But anyhow, I let that solution sit in there for 2 days. And then I poured that out and I patched the bore real good to get the remaining solution that I'd put in there out. And I had bought, and I don't have them out here, but some nylon 50 caliber bore brushes, which I know bronze or brass brushes can get stuck in the barrel easy. Ask me how I know. So once I had the oil dried out of the bore to some extent, I put that bore brush on my 50 caliber ramrod. And about 3 inches in the bore, I saw things were going to go south. It got really hard to push, so I stopped, and I had to take a pair of vice grips and clamp them on the range rod and take a hammer and tap that brush back out of there. So here's, sadly, the proof in the pudding. You can see that bore, I hope, looks pretty bright, but it is rougher than a cob. It would probably shoot, but your accuracy would probably be next to nothing, and I bet it would probably tear patches pretty bad. So what are the takeaways from this? Those of you that's been around this hobby for a while, know. Those of you that are new, here's what we learned. When you're going out shopping at a yard sale, flea market, pawn shop, or whatever, looking for a used muzzleloader, the first and primary thing is going to be the condition of the bore. Everything else hinges on that. The condition of this bore wound up being terrible. The surface rust, I've got it off, but you can still see the remnants of it under the bluing. If the bore was good, I would take a product like Brownell's Blue and Rust Remover, and I would strip all that off and sand it and draw file it down till I had that barrel in good shape. And then I could brown it or re-blue it. That's no big deal. Just a little elbow grease and a little sandpaper and solution. Now your stock, if it's not just beat all to pieces, there again, a little sandpaper, stripper, and some elbow grease, you could probably clean that up and make it into something that would look pretty good. The lock, you want to make sure that it somewhat functions. In the case of this gun, that lock was just simply dirty and dry. Once I put some oil on it, worked it a little bit, it's working fine. The triggers, there again, they were suspect. If you're lucky, you might find another trigger for it. I looked for one for this one at DeerCreekProducts.net and came up with the new style trigger, which was going to be too thick. It wouldn't fit to work on this one. So when you're shopping for something like that, look at the overall condition of your gun. And as I said, the bore is the primary piece that needs to be at least salvageable. You know, sometimes you haven't learned the experience, and my son did. I've told him about it already. He said, "That's fine, Dad. At least I gave you an opportunity to make some videos, and I appreciate that." So just watch what you're doing, or take somebody with you that knows muzzleloaders, that's got more experience than you if you're new to this hobby. Those of you that's been doing it a while probably know you're going to look at the bore first thing. But anyway, thanks for watching. For me, in the spirit of Jake, God bless you. Keep your powder dry, and mind your top knot, Bill.